Hey, this is Dr. Rob, and I want to welcome you here today to my next whiteboard session. Today we're going to be talking about how you can have beautiful skin. And there's a lot of things you could eat and things that you could avoid, but the key thing I want to focus in right now is toxicity. Specifically, toxicity coming from foods and toxicity coming from the gut. That's right. So in the intestinal tract, and let me sidestep here for a second so I can bring up some pictures, but this over here is a picture of the intestinal tract. And here is where we break down all of our food. We absorb all of our nutrients. At the same time, we are also creating toxins in the formation of stool. So the formation of stool is beginning here. And stool obviously is a very toxic substance, right? So we have these protective fingers that line the intestines. And if I was to blow this up into look at just one finger, it would look like this. And this one finger is called a villi. And you see that inside each one of the villi right over here, there's this blood vessel. And here, right here, that is where all of your vitamins and minerals and foods get absorbed. But you'll notice also these protective cells that line the outside of the villi. Those protective cells, they stop the bad things from getting into your bloodstream, like these toxins from stool. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a picture of one villi kind of cut in half and laid on its side so you won't see the blood vessel. So here it is. And you'll see like right around here, right, where there's kind of like gaps, right there, those are areas where the microvilli have been damaged. And it's right in those areas that the toxins from your stool are able to leak in. Now, how does this affect your skin and what's the problem? Well, when these toxins leak in, again, we're leaking in, these stool toxins, when they leak in to your bloodstream, that toxin is then circulated through the body and the liver tries to break it down. Well, sometimes the liver has trouble and the body looks for an alternate expulsion route, like another way it can get rid of it. Well, one of the big ways that you can get rid of toxins is through the skin, right? Through your sweat. We know when we sweat, we release toxins. So when we have toxins that travel through the blood in the skin, here's what's happening. The toxin travels through the blood and the body tries to push it out through the skin. But we can run into a big problem here. And the big problem that we can run into is this toxin can actually get lodged in the skin tissue. When it gets lodged in the skin tissue, it creates an immunological reaction, meaning you get inflammation that's occurring. In the same way, when you get sick and your sinuses get congested and it gets hard to breathe, well, your skin gets congested. It gets inflamed, and then it starts to look inflamed. And then you develop things like acne or psoriasis or eczema or any other type of skin problem that could potentially be out there. And it's really linked to the intestinal tract and the inability of the body to detoxify. So first and foremost, we want to take a look at the gut. And no, it doesn't mean you get a colonoscopy, although that's a great thing to do to rule out any type of pathology, cancer. We're looking at the microbiological level. We want to know, is there yeast, fungus, bacteria, food sensitivities, molds? What's in there that's causing damage to our microvilli? What's allowing the toxins to leak from the intestinal tract into our bloodstream, polluting our skin and ruining our complexion? That's what we want to do. Then once we got that handled and taken care of and we're on the right program in order to do that, then we want to make sure we're detoxifying our system. And there's some great foods to do that. The first group of foods is our cruciferous vegetables: kale, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, right? These are all our cruciferous vegetables. What do? They provide special sulfur compounds that aid the liver in detoxification. So they help pull these toxins out of the bloodstream so they're less likely to deposit in our skin. What's the next thing? Lemon. Why are we going to use lemon? Lemon, very similar. It also helps to flush the liver. So if there's toxins stuck in the liver, we flush them from the liver into our stool, and then we evacuate that out of our body. The next thing is fresh turmeric. Fresh turmeric is a wonderful anti-inflammatory substance. So you can grate fresh turmeric on your food, you can blend it up in a smoothie, and what that's going to do is that's going to help to support the reduction of inflammation in the skin. So we're going to help pull down that inflammatory reaction. The toxin's still going to be there, but there's going to be less inflammation. We are going to calm the enraged giant in our skin with some fresh turmeric. Ginger will do the exact same thing. It's nice and anti-inflammatory. It helps to reduce any type of inflammation around that toxin. We also want to go with foods that are less toxic. So we want to go more towards our organic foods, right? So, and if we're going to eat non-organic, we want to stick to that Clean 15 list, which I will post. Should I post it now? I'll post it now. What the heck? So here's a list of Clean 15 foods. These are the foods that you can eat if they're not organic. The Dirty Dozen is the other list that you should definitely, avoid unless they're organic. So to carry on, we got wild-caught fish. Wild-caught fish usually has a low level of toxicity in it, unless you're talking about tuna and things like that. But like wild-caught salmon is wonderful for you. The omega fatty acids in there reduce inflammation in the skin. They feed the skin, so the skin has a nice glow. I was once told Jennifer Lopez, who has one of the most beautiful skin in Hollywood at the age of 45, 46, 48, whatever she is, she looks amazing. And some of the things that she eats a lot of are salmon and cantaloupe. So salmon is great for your skin. It's great anti-inflammatory. And then we have, if we're going to do beef or meats, we want to go grass-fed. The ones that are not grass-fed or non-organic, there's so many hormones in that beef, or there's so many hormones in those meats. It's just polluting our body. It adds more problems to our skin. When we go through puberty, hormones are all over the place, and often that affects our skin. Last thing we want to do is add some cow hormone to your body. That's definitely not going to be good for eczema or for acne or for really any skin condition. And then berries. Berries like blueberries are so anti-inflammatory. They help to break down substances called free radicals. Free radicals react with your skin cell and cause damage to the skin cell and can lead to blemishes and unhealthy looking skin and all kinds of issues. So, what did we learn here today? Well, we learned if we want to have good skin, we need to have a good gut, and we need to figure out what's wrong with our gut. That's what I do in our facility all the time, but that's one thing you need to look at. The second thing we need to do is detoxify, and then we need to add good, wholesome foods to your diet that are low in toxicity. And often that really helps an individual, helps their skin become healthier. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please like it. If you loved it, then we'll give you one of these guys. How do you do it? Something like that. Oh, that's it, right there. There you go. So give me one of these guys if you really love it. If you're on Facebook, please share this with one of your friends. If you think the information is valuable, like our page if you haven't liked our page already. And if this is YouTube, like, subscribe, share, do all of the above. Help us get this information out to as many people as we can. So I'll see you at the next whiteboard session.